So, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. Sorry, I had to kill the other live. Forgot to plug in my mic. And let me just delete this. Wait, is the mic on this time? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Okay, hold on. Let me just delete that one from YouTube. Okay, so yes, the retrograde has begun. Retrograde has definitely begun. Let's do some readings at this point. Okay. The door has been opened. I asked the energy what this reading was going to be about, and I was told the door has been opened. Now, I don't know what this door is, who opened it, and what's coming through. So I'll just say that. I will just say that. Okay? We're going to find out. We always find out. The truth always comes out. That's why it is futile to lie. All right. Let me just get a couple more cards. Oh, okay. All right. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Oh, well, there's a reason I picked this up. I say I didn't want this deck. There's a reason I picked it up, right? Here goes. Okay. I look at this card and it makes me feel like we're at a strip club. All right. Set this aside. Let's get started. Card number 11, Diving for Light. So we are so surrounded by dark thoughts, dark people, just dark. And sometimes what we need to do, instead of just trying to always go towards one direction, which is up, we have to sometimes do the opposite of what we think is right. I say this because oftentimes what we think is right has been very distorted through the programming we receive as children, from society, from religion, just all sorts of different programs being run, really distorting how we receive the guidance that we get from soul. And so now it's time for us to dive for light. This diving is diving into yourself. Okay. It's really going deep, deep, deep in the trenches of your heart's oceans and finding your truth. This card, I believe, came up again yesterday, where we have to recognize we have completely shielded our high heart and throat area. And this tells me that we have been blocking our own higher levels of compassion from coming through. We've also stopped ourselves from communicating our truths and our needs. Look at that. So what we need right now is true communication. What is going on? I'm so sleepy. Card number 29. Fifth house, creativity. That don't look good. That don't look good. That kind of makes me feel like nefarious things are getting really creative in their attempt to derail and distract. So fifth house, the house of Leo. This is deep. The key concept of the fifth house is channel, inspiration, creativity, artistry, entertainment. It's a gateway. Fuck. The fifth house is tied to Leo energy, and it's a gateway. The door has been opened. What? Card number 50, the spiral. So many people are starting to realize the path of soul is actually like a spiral, going up as well as down simultaneously. What I got from this, it's almost like something is being flushed down the toilet. It's going down the drain. What's going down the drain though? I'm hoping that what this is simply um, stagnant energies that are needing to be cleared, and not guidance and support and clarity that's going down the drain. Let's see what the other cards say. Here's the stripper card. So, I think we're going down the drain. That's not a drain, that's a portal. This is not a drain, this is a portal. I just realized before I decided to come live, or before I was told to come live, I was washing my hands in the bathroom and I just randomly portal. Just randomly said portal. And I was like, what the hell is that about? Oh, by the way, you have to go live. Okay. And then I came live. So this is not a drain, this is a portal. Transporting of something. Card number 12. Every journey starts with a single step. We're more than a single step into this journey. Okay. Way more than a single step. Our bags are packed. Ooh. For some of us, this is a portal to higher levels of, oh, you guys. Whoa. These are higher levels of consciousness. So I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and it was a really good friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in forever. And she was asking me, are we shifting dimensions? And I said, yes, we're already in the process of that. And she totally was like, I can feel a shift. It feels like something really bad. And I had told her it's not necessarily something really bad. What's going on is right now, this earth plane is in the fourth dimension. And what's happening in that fourth dimension is that's where most parasites exist, in that fourth dimension. And what ends up happening, if we are anchored in the fifth, experiencing everything beneath the fifth dimension, so our reality is basically feeling and behaving like fourth dimensional distortions. um Earth is basically like behaving like a buffet. So many of us are being kept, pretty much all of us, to be honest, being kept in perpetual states of fear, like really elevated fear. We're experiencing so much trauma just by watching what's unfolding on the streets, the type of division, just a whole bunch of crazy, crazy things. And so, just like on Monsters Inc., that kids movie, they harvest the energy of fear that can create blockages which facilitate feeding. And if feeding, because of what's going on in societies right now, if feeding is so easy, then why would they allow us to very easily just move out of the fourth dimension? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They would try whatever they can to phase lock humanity to stay in that fifth dimensional anchoring. Okay. I think the portal that opened up is taking us to a higher level of consciousness. But because that spiral, that path of soul, goes up as well as down, the polarity that's formed within humanity, some of us are going up, others of us are devolving. They're not evolving, they are devolving. The separation is becoming much more intense. um, the mindsets, the mentality that allows for this to continue is getting more entrenched into their template. meaning it's being solidified. The hatred, the comparison, the desire for harm to come to other people. This is not a specific race or region or tax bracket. This is a mentality. This is a mentality that is either assuring you're about to rise dramatically, dramatically. Yeah, you're either going to rise quite a bit, or your behaviors and refusal to let go of old paradigms is going to secure you in a much lower state. This is very concerning to me. This is very concerning because of the fact that how is this going to play out in society? I'm gonna just sit at home. F that. I'm just gonna sit at home. I'm not going to the store or any of that. I'm gonna sit at home. I don't want to get caught up in none of that, because that's going to be very elevated, very, very intense, very intense. I'm going to sit at home. I have some marshmallows in the pantry. I have a fire pit in the backyard, which is like a ring of rocks. we basic people over here. We just going to live our basic life all nice and peaceful. Card number 37, fire element, desire. Shit. I vaguely remember. Okay, let me just read to you guys. Passion, though a bad regulator, is a powerful spring. So, depending on where your passion is anchored, whether it's anchored in the positivity or the negativity, it just means that's where it's anchored. But dependent on where it's anchored, that is what's going to determine what direction you're going to be flung in once that spring is loaded with energy from all the pushing down, trying to subjugate you, push you down more. Eventually, that spring is going to release that load of energy and pop you out. And it depends, where is your spring anchored? Are you really pissed off about what's going on? Are you pissed off because you're blaming certain groups? Or are you pissed off because you've had enough of humanity beating itself up? You have had enough of humanity's division. And dependent on how you answer that, that's going to give you a very clear indication of where your spring is anchored. Very, very clear. Now, let's just read. Let's just read. So, card number 37, fire element, desire. There are changes coming, new movement. Look for them to be quick. The fire element of astrology is all about beginnings, our passions, and how fast we get our energy moving. It speaks to how rapidly we react and how long it takes us to accomplish what we set to do. Fire is burning determination. Scorches away impurities, clearing a landscape for new growth. Oh, and leaving an area healthier and stronger. When this card is involved, expect changes to be dramatic in an unforgettable way. A situation is about to be transformed through a wake-up call or personal epiphany. I need to go grocery shopping. You guys, no, I'm not gonna program you to. I could be tripping. I could definitely be tripping. Okay, step into this path and find your way. Look at your issue from another perspective and try a unique approach. This card and energy denotes honesty and suggests you act assertively. You're about to get upfront with someone, or vice versa, or at least you should. And this card says to push it. In any event, you will soon understand where you stand, as all of your cards will be put on the table. Watch out for bossy people when this card comes up. It can indicate a type of bulldozing that will be hard to deal with. Others may claim they're speaking to you from a place of truth and concern, whereas they may not understand the situation very well and not offer the best advice. Do you guys really want me to be honest with what this card is telling me, or should we just leave it like this? Is it going to be too much for you guys for me to just be honest? I mean, I'm already being honest, but the depth of honesty, how honest do you want me to be? This is a card of new starts one after the past has been burned away. Um, as far as your life is concerned, the pot is being stirred. Let's see. Since you're now thinking in larger terms, details won't matter as much. It's important to get everything nailed down. Okay, so guys, we've already been getting this message of something this weekend, 21, 21, Blackjack, Blackjack. I was watching this, I was watching this show, this series on Netflix. It's called Shooter. This guy was he was a sniper in the military. He was like the best, yada yada. He was so good that all these other, like, I don't know what they were, enemies of the state or whatever, they put a bounty on his head. Eventually, he went home. He wasn't serving anymore. He wasn't active. Then he got set up. Oh, did I fuck up? Okay, I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. I watched that whole, I binge watched it because Bob Lee, oh fucking god, oh, Bob Lee, Bob Lee, he had something about the blackjack. I can't even. I don't want to fuck up the show. Anyways, blackjack, blackjack, two cards, high numbers. If you've ever played cards, you can feel whatever you feel, but you have to have a poker face. Even if it's not poker, you have to have a poker face. If this is to be something with the least amount of suffering, we need to play blackjack. You need to get those two cards. You need to hit 21. The inverse. Card number 12. 1221. The inverse. Every journey starts with a single step. The inverse. So this card is talking about how some of us are rising up in frequency, rising up in dimensional level of consciousness. The inverse. Inverse is inversion. So the inverse of 12 would be 21 if you're inverting, if you are swapping it out. And that means there's going to be a big downward spiral. So I don't know, some event, yada, yada, be ready. That's all I can really say. That's all I can really say because we don't know what the event is. We don't know when the event will be. I do know there is something piggybacking on this lunar eclipse energy. It's going to be hidden. Basically, unless you're on my level of sensitivity towards parasitic things, high level, extremely intelligent parasitic things, you're not going to feel it. And if you want to expose yourself, that's your choice. Okay, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. That's your choice. But there's a very real after effect. Really interesting. I have known there's a parasitic strain for some time now, maybe about um, going on 2 years at this point. There's a parasitic strain that specifically targets those who are reaching higher levels of consciousness. It's a very high frequency parasitic strain. And so you have to have leveled up to a certain degree in order for the discrepancy between their extremely high frequency and our human frequency to be compatible. The movie Venom. I really don't want to talk about this. Watch the movie Venom. If the host is not compatible, the host cannot survive. Okay. If the host is not compatible, the host cannot survive. And what that means is there's a very specific reason why the whole world is being traumatized right now. This is massive cycle of trauma-induced accretion. We are being prepared for something. Y'all are probably not going to like what I have to say, but you want me to be honest? Okay, we're being prepared to be hosts, basically. Okay. So if you allow yourself to be exposed to it, then you're exposed to it. Card number 42. 40. All right. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. This is what's going on right now. This is what is going on right now. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. When the earth is parched, the rainmaker calls the waters from the heavens, and all that's dormant in the field and in people's hearts spring to life again. So, what are some meanings to the phrase raining, or when it rains, it pours? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. When it rains, it pours. The rainmaker calls the waters from the heavens, and all that's dormant in the field and in people's hearts spring to life again. So things are springing to life again. The rainmaker is calling you to create something new from elements that are already in your life. Be sure you work with what is and not with what might be or could have been. The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth ready for the sunlight. Do not hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. It's a gamble. We're taking a gamble. Notice I get the message of Blackjack, and now we're talking about dice. That's taking a huge gamble. Ooh, the medicine of this card. Recognize how you are co-creating your world. Nothing is happening out there without your involvement. Remember that the world is only mirroring back to you the condition of your love and your intent. So change these within before you take any action. Do not take life personally. So I forgot exactly what I said earlier, but it ties into what I was saying earlier about how, well, I don't know if I said that earlier. Basically, we as a collective whole are needed to manifest whatever it is they're trying to manifest. I keep hearing parlay. Parlay. What the fuck does parlay mean? Hold on. Turn an initial stake or winnings from previous bet into a greater amount by gambling. A cumulative series of bets in which winnings accrue from each transaction as each transaction are used as a stake for a further bet. What does that mean? 96% at 933, 9696, 1566. Elevated receiving. Elevated receiving. Oh, I think all of us are all in. All of us are all in at this point. And I don't think what's going on is necessarily about good versus evil, because really there's no such thing as good and evil. Those are merely perceptions needed, created by the human mind because of our limited ability to process the gravity of the events we experience. So, okay, Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't remember movies very well. 97% at 934 is still a mirroring. 9 plus 7, 16. 16, 16, 7, 7. A request for audience with a captain to negotiate. Did I miss a definition? Hold on. Equal. Okay. Late 19th century, from French, paroli, from Italian, from paro, like, from Latin, par, equal. It's about equal. So to parlay is to maneuver something of advantage to receive something else of much greater value. To parlay is to have a discussion, especially one between enemies or opposing sides. What's the piece? To maneuver something of advantage to receive something else of much greater value. Moving Blu-rays? What is a parlay in war? Parlay is a discussion or conference, especially one between enemies, over terms of a truce or other matters. During the 18th and 19th centuries, attacking an enemy during a parlay was considered one of the grossest breaches of the rules of war. Is there some sort of conference that's taking place? Is there some sort of like summit, conference, United Nations meeting, something? Or is there some sort of conference within our nation? Michael says to say it. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitan. Para bailar la bamba. Is there? So who's meeting with Trump? Who's Trump meeting with? Do you guys know? Okay. I'm just going to move on to the next cards. Like, I can't become fixated on this. Card number 43, come to life. Okay. Are you fucking kidding me? Trump is going to be in Texas on the 21st, which would explain why I'm like, I don't want to go to Texas. What's he doing in Texas? Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. With convention plans in flux, Republicans considering Dallas for Trump nomination acceptance speech. You guys. Okay. This shit is not good. So there's a 99% at 938. Okay. There is a reason. There's a reason that the movie shooter came up. Y'all, this is some fucked shit. 99% at 939. I don't even want to say this shit. I don't want to be a part of it. So look at the premise of the movie Shooter. It has to do with a presidential thing. It was a false flag event. And I'm done with that. This is going to usher something very, very fucking profound in. I'm going grocery shopping. I need more cookies and candy because this shit is elevating my stress. Okay. Some said that Trump should be careful. Okay. I'm just reading a comment. I'm not saying he should be careful. Card number 27, third house messages. Fucking A. Michael, you're getting me into some deep shit. I swear to God, you're getting me into some deep, deep shit. So, third house is Gemini, activity, movement. Short scope activities. Physical, mental, energetic, intellectuality, study, writing, reading, communicating, exercise, occupation, dexterity, siblings, peers, collaborating, relocation, agitation, competition, will. So, why do you make me talk about that kind of shit? You know, it makes me sound crazy, right? So look it up for yourself. Occult dates carry with it tremendous meanings. Certain occult holidays, and this is not to say that pagans, Wiccans, Druids, whoever the fuck else celebrates these dates, consider these dates to be important. This is not to say they're evil, but there's a very select group, a very select satanic group in places of power that use these dates to plan events. So, years ago, my reading took me to a place within my thoughts that helped me to realize something. Say there's a certain holy day, and this holy day, um, in ages past, required a sacrifice to the fire gods, right? Just like some random example. So then the false flag that will occur during that period will involve fire. That's what happened 9/11. It required human sacrifice involving fire. Okay. So I don't know what's going to go on this weekend. I'm sitting my ass at home. I'm not going live. Y'all do whatever you need to do. I could just be crazy. This could all be bullshit. You decide for yourself. But there's messages coming out, and it's up to you what you're going to do with those messages. Not all of us spiral up, some of us spiral down. And there's also those of us who spiral in both ways simultaneously. So, card number 15, the drum. Shit. You're stressing me out, Michael. You really seriously are. You're stressing me out so bad. This is ridiculous. Card number 15. The rhythm of the drum tunes you into the beating heart of the universe. Its wood frame links you to the trees and helps you journey to the lower world via the roots and the upper world through its branches. So, this is talking about allowing yourself to spiral in both directions simultaneously. The drum skin gives the shaman the powers of the animal kingdom. Striking the drum calls forth the power of the thunder and rumbling of the earthquake. The drum invites a trance state where healing and prophecy happens. There's this video that keeps popping up, and it comes to mind because of the reference to the thunder. Um, in Native American cultures, I don't remember which one, probably several of them, the thunder represents the bison. The bison represents the thunder because when the bison as a group choose to charge forward, because that's what bison do, they don't run away, they charge forward. You threaten them, they're not running away. They're going to slam right into you and trample the shit out of you. Imagine just one can do this. Imagine what happens when the entire herd chooses to stampede towards their future. We are the bison. We have to face the storm head on. The bison don't run from the storm, they run towards it to lessen the duration of the effects of the storm. We are currently in a storm. We are currently in a storm. There's a video going around on Facebook where you can hear the rumbling. You can hear the rumbling because the bison are coming. The cars can't do shit. They can't do shit. A bison can take out a car. I hate to tell you this. A bison can take out a car. You're not exactly that safe in your car. You think you're safe in the car because the bison can't get in? It'll destroy your whole car. Okay. So it's time for us to recognize the call has been put out. And those of us who come from the tribe of bison, it's time for us to stampede towards our future. And here's the thing, we're not fighting each other. The people in control would like you to believe that there's other people in this world that you're fighting, that they're the problem. The fact is, the people in control are the problem. They create the problem, they sustain the problem, they continue to feed the problem, they create more problems. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you look at some of the wording they use to try and keep us very much controlled and compliant, herd immunity. You want to fucking make us into a herd? Let's be a bison herd. That's what we need to be. We need to be a bison herd at this point. The drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage because it's going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. You travel to the beat of a different drum. It's time to acknowledge you do not fit a mold or roll a relationship that's not in tune with you. Find your rhythm. Respond to the heartbeat of the distant drum. The price you pay for lingering becomes higher with each passing day. Ah, I don't want to go. Now is the time to move on. So, I didn't pull these cards, but these are pages that suddenly the book opened to. So card number 14, the curse. The curse refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is a source of negative patterns, and it can show up as a disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Let that shit sink in. Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. That's deep. That's deep. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. So this is a page that opened up before I got to the meaning for the card that I just read. And then I let go of the page and suddenly this page opens up. Luminous warrior. Luminous warrior. Let me go back to the previous page. The curse. Tell me that don't look like a mask on her face. Okay. Luminous warrior. Tell me these are not like, this is some very specific imagery, very specific messages. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. We are not enemies. None of us are. We're not enemies with another nation. We're not enemies with another city, another person. We are not enemies. None of us. He's impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. The luminous warrior reminds you it's important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention. Oh, that's deep. Intention follows attention. What are you paying attention to? Whatever it is you are paying attention to, that is what's going to shape, determine, influence your intention. Focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be a little need for action, so you resolve all situations from within. Ooh, the medicine. Are you being tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with someone? Wow. Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than war. Ooh, I have got the biggest goosebumps. I got to read that medicine again. Are you being tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with someone? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than for war. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep enough to drown in. That's deep enough to drown in. Wow. Let's get the final card. And then I got to start my sessions. I think I'm going to pull Rumi today. So we're going to listen to some poetry because I can't take any more intense messages. My brain feels overloaded. So Blackjack, dice, 21. That's crazy. 21, Blackjack. Hold on. I need to know. Oh my God. Okay. My head hurts. So before anything even came up, I don't even know what the results are. I'm like, what does Blackjack mean? I'm missing it. I'm missing it. Jack of all trades. Really missing a race. It's not necessarily a reference to race. Black. Let's see. Ooh, a short leather cover, typically lead-filled club with a flexible handle used as a weapon. That's North American definition of blackjack. Ooh, a pirate's black ensign. That's the skull and crossbones. Okay. The name blackjack was derived from the special bonus that a player obtained after receiving a combination of an ace of spades and a blackjack. Which hand is considered the worst? Okay, this is important. Which hand is considered the worst in blackjack? If a player is dealt a pair of eights, the total of 16 is considered a troublesome hand. In fact, the value 16 is said to be the worst hand one can have in blackjack. Was I not just calling out a bunch of numbers and I was like 16, 16? And if we're really thinking about it, 16, 16 turns out to be 7, 7, which then is completion to an elevated degree. If a player is dealt a pair of eights, eights representing true twin ray merger. Okay, I'm not talking about relationship. I'm talking about energetic merger. This is the very reason why there are some parasitic beings who keep interfering with twin flame connections, twin flame communication. Whoa, this is the end game. Wow. That's interesting. 88, 44 minutes, 44 seconds, 88, 28, 109, 54. So mirroring. So much mirroring. 4, 4, 4, 4 is 8, 8. There were 88 watchers. 2 plus 8 for the thumbs, 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 100%. That's kind of like a mirroring, but lessened by tenfold. And then it was 954, which is 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9, 9. So everything is mirroring. We absolutely have a chance. All of this has already happened. It's just taken time for that end result to filter through this density and into this physical plane of existence. The war was already won a very, very long time ago. Before any of us came into life, that war was already won. It's just a matter of how we are going to allow the details to be experienced, the nuances in detail. Wow. I got a headache. I feel kind of sick. I gotta go. I gotta go. So, oh, I didn't even. Hold on. Here. Okay. This just flipped itself over. Ooh, card number 24, resplendent with grace. All right. Let it wash over me. Ready to lose my feet. All right. Card number 24, resplendent with grace. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me. Hidden inside is the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way no matter where I go. You exist anywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. There's only beauty beheld now, for there's nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Is it difficult to see your magnificence? Without a mirror the size of a galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? You must just catch glimpses of your truth now and then. If you could see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being. You are clothed in robes of grace, so light and do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all of creation as you step this way and that. This is all about you recognizing the power that you are. At no point are you to tell yourself, there's no way I can do this. There's no way we can do this. We're going to lose and no, we're not. No, we're not. I'm very realistic. I'm very analytic, very logical. And I know at the end of all of this, we come out a better species. We come out better people, more capable of loving and more willing to reach the higher levels of capability. Okay. So be careful this weekend. Whatever it is that's happening, sit your ass at home. Just sit at home. Seriously. And if you're just sitting at home, careful what you participate in. Okay. Something was telling me, oh, you should do a meditation. No, fuckers, you're not using me to piggyback. I don't think so. I'm going to be offline this weekend. You guys have a beautiful weekend. I have to go. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Bye, guys.